After what happened yesterday in a very spiky contest with Kim Huybrecht, if he could have selected a type of opponent, he would have said, "Can I play Dave?" Well, he's got Dave, who will have plenty of support. Of that, there's no doubt. He has it wherever he goes. But I think Edhouse wants a slightly more mundane contest today, but he'd still like to win to make it through to the last 16. To play against Willie O'Connor or Boris Kritchmer. That will be a match in this evening's session. But Dave Chisnall, with all of his victories and all of his grand days on the European Tour over the last decade and a bit, at the stage of his career that he's at, he's looking for landmarks. He would like to get to double figures of European Tour wins over the next season or two, but today he could actually reach a bit of a landmark. If he beats Edhouse, it will be his 180th win on the European Tour. Pretty apt, considering he has been one of the best 180 shooters of the last 15 years or so. But we don't expect this to be a spiky contest, do we, Dan Dawson? A very good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon. It won't be a spiky contest at all. It could be very good, but you don't really know at the minute because Richie Edhouse isn't playing the sort of darts that he was playing for most of last year. And Dave Chisnall, while he's been all right, he's not been tearing it up. And the thing is, Dave Chisnall on the Euro Tour has been tearing it up because he's been winning titles on this circuit for the last 3 years. This year, he's constantly averaging in the 90s, sometimes low, sometimes high, sometimes in the middle, and it's good. But it means that when he's run into Ross Smith, Luke Littler, Ross Smith again, Peter Wright, Ryan Joyce, he's lost. And that can't continue for Chiz. He's got to have to find those gears that we know he's got to win more of these titles, because he's been right up there in the rankings for the last 3 years because he keeps on winning these things.
If you look at his results, to some people that would be seen as a pretty good season. 4 last 16s and a quarter-final, so 5 of 6 when it comes to final days. They've been there, but he hasn't kicked on. And we do judge Dave by very high standards.
Yeah, it's what it does. He's constantly picking up ranking money. He's putting big chunks on his ranking. It's good, but it's not what he's capable of doing. And Dave Chisnall, as we know, is a player who is quite capable of winning anything if he plays his best. But if he's not playing his best on the Euro Tour, what's it going to mean when he goes to the match play or whatever?
It's going to be tops. And the lead is his. Nice and tidy start to the 15-darter. Do you think Chisnall gets the credit he deserves for what he's done? Because he's up there with Price and Wright, Michael Smith. They're all world champions. But as far as the European Tour is concerned, he's been winning when multiple people have been dominating world darts. People like Taylor, Van Gerwen, Humphreys, Littler of the new crop. He's been winning whenever they've been winning.
Yeah, like he's sort of in the Terry Jenkins position, isn't he? Where Terry Jenkins, for many years, was one of the best players in the world, won loads of titles, was often, there was a good sort of 2-year period where if anybody was going to beat Michael Van Gerwen, it might well have been Terry Jenkins in a major tournament. They had a right old ding-dong over 1 year, kept meeting each other on TV. But Terry Jenkins made all these major finals and never won one. And that's what people... Oh, Terry Jenkins, the guy who never won a major. Rather than Terry Jenkins, that guy who was unbelievable for years and years and years. And Dave Chisnall, who has been in so many major finals and not won one, he's got a better CV than Richie Edhouse, the European champion. But that's the first thing people will say about Richie Edhouse. That guy won the European Championship, not that guy lost a load of it.
138.
How many of his Euro Tour titles do you think he would swap for that one European Championship that Richie's got?
Very interesting question, and I don't know. But I also do know that Dave Chisnall believes that he can get that major title, but he's going to have to start playing his better stuff, and we've not really seen that much this year. This is an encouraging start to the game, though. Bullseye for a 164. Great line.
Those darts look like they're fresh out the packet. And they are going in the right direction. Edhouse is going in the right direction. He's just shy of the second treble that he needed.
100. Maybe require 25.
And sometimes in sport, you just got to unwrap some new kit and have that fresh feel. He's looking at double four.
21.
Not pleased with that. And the door is still open for Edhouse.
So a level game at one apiece. That'll do. 17 darter. It's not a brilliant start by Edhouse, but it is so much better than the start he made against Kim Huybrechts yesterday. He was woeful for the first 3 legs.
I think after yesterday, which was a fabulous day of darts,
99.
it was the Edhouse Huybrechts game that got everybody talking, both last night and post-session. Because it was just a little bit silly, wasn't it?
177.
Yeah, it was. There was beef, there was needle, there was mismatched darts. Edhouse could have been even further behind were it not for one silly leg where Huybrechts got himself stuck on double three, and ultimately that proved to be kind of a turning point in that game.
I'm not going to go into the ins and outs of yesterday, but even since yesterday's game, there have been accusations as well, which I'm sure social media will talk about in the coming days. But
ever had any run-ins with Kim Huybrechts yourself, Paul? Never mind, we've not got time.
I'll have a think about that one.
120.
Decent response this from Dave Chisnall, down to 134 after just 3 visits to the board. Edhouse, who started the leg perfectly, is trying to join him on a decent finish, and that will do.
122.
Superb thinking.
134.
What's he going to do on 102? He's just found 251s. Some people would go back there. He didn't need to go back there. He's going back here though. And with joy. He's thinking it. He's exuding it. This is a lot more comfortable than yesterday. And now he's got the lead with a 12 dart leg.
Brilliant end to the leg there. Brilliant leg full stop from Richie Edhouse. Started with a 177, ends with a 102. 12 darter, break a throw into the lead. Has beaten Dave Chisnall in big TV events a couple of times actually. Beat him in the Slam, short format granted last year, 5-2. Chizzy wasn't very good. Edhouse is brilliant. Did beat him a few years ago at the Players' Championship finals as well. But he obviously has a losing record to Chiz over the years, as you would expect. 5 wins to Chizzy's 13 victories over the years.
Richie made his debut on the Euro Tour in the Netherlands at the Dutch Darts Masters in 2016. A tournament where he actually got a bye on the Saturday. So the last 16 on debuts, not a bad effort. But he only played 1 game to get there.
And lost to Chizzy.
Correct.
That was their first ever meeting.
Certain things just stick out in your mind. I remember that vividly because I didn't even know who Richie Edhouse was at the start of that season. He beat me in the qualifying round to get to that event. And then he has a really good tournament. 9 years later, he's European champion.
Well, this is much more like it from Richie. The average climbs to 102 now. Chiz has got to fill this up, really. Even a 1040 is not enough. So he does fill it up.
Edhouse was laughing there as if to say, can I just get rid of you now? Well, keep leaving double 16, Richie, and you will. Seriously impressive. 3 out of 3 on the doubles, and every single one of them has been double 16.
Well, you can look at that and say, oh, Chizzy's had 4 darts at double and Richie's had 3. But the thing is, part of the reason Richie's only had 3 is because he keeps hitting the double first time of asking. And look at him go here. But if you look at legs with darts at double, Dave Chisnall 2, Richie Edhouse 3. So it's kind of a fair scoreline, really. Maybe 2 all would be a little bit fairer, but he's been very, very good. Richie Edhouse.
137.
Maybe he likes playing in this country because he had his best European Tour run in the Netherlands. That was back in 2018 in Maastricht.
140.
But back then when he was, final day, got a bye, ended up playing Chizzy when he first appeared on the Euro Tour, that run to the final session in Maastricht, he was doing that by sort of nerdling through with sort of
100.
high 80s and averages in the 90s. Richie Edhouse then was a sort of journeyman player. It's last year where he found some new levels that he never accessed before, not on a consistent basis. And ultimately he ends up winning the European Championship. Gone from just your standard sort of
100.
off-the-rack professional dart player to a real winner last year.
He is a success story. Bullseye for success.
86.
Weight of dart was good, but line way off.
21.
Edhouse is not going to finish this turn on double 16. He'd like to finish it on the bull.
Doesn't have that option in the end. Dave Chisnall will come back.
44.
Single four for tops. You would expect. Very much his go-to double nowadays, double top.
Motown.
Top.
Motown. Perfectly executed. And just like the first game of the day between Heta and Sparadans, this is seeing a level that we can definitely get behind, both averaging 101.
60.
I remember years ago speaking to James Hubbard, the former World Youth Champion, about Richie Edhouse. I didn't know who he was, so I asked James, who's Richie Edhouse? And he said, oh, he's good. But this was back in 2016. The evolution of Edhouse that you were talking about in the previous leg, Dan, it has been right in front of our eyes. A Q-School yo-yo,
94.
and then during COVID, playing from home, he found another level of confidence, and he has drip-fed the real Richie Edhouse to us over the last couple of years.
Yeah, but you talk to him and he can't explain it. He said, I'm not doing anything really differently. I'm just practicing and putting a bit of effort in, and the results have started to come. Now, this year, as we've already said, he hasn't been playing at the level he was all last year. But
58.
a day like today, a performance like this, could be the thing that gets him going again. But you could say similar for Dave Chisnall. A weekend like this, it could be the one where Chizzy clicks into gear and it's, Dave Chisnall, the Euro Tour monster, is back.
42.
I can categorise it for Edhouse in one sentence. Now, he feels like he belongs in the room. Whereas before,
100.
he had a little bit of imposter syndrome. He doesn't feel that way anymore. So this experience here in front of 4,000 mad Dutch fans against this guy, it just feels like another day at the office.
84.
Game's just lost a little bit of energy. It might just need something rather large to get it back.
Stay straight. He'd love another treble. But 89 is still very makeable. And he could end up on that double 16 that has served him so well so far in this game. He's 3 for 3 on double 16. He might not even get a look, though. He's going to.
137. Richie require 89.
He would love the 57. Going to be the bullseye.
64.
He's a bit closer than Dave was, but not close enough. And after establishing a 3-1 advantage, he might be reeled in. And we might have the same scoreline that we had in game 1. Him and Heta didn't mind it being 3-3 because then he won the next 3 legs. Is this one 3-3?
It is 3 apiece. That is a breaker throw. 17 darts are good enough to break Richie Edhouse in that one.
Dave to throw first.
Yeah, good standard of play. Averages have dropped a good 2-3 points.
61.
Still high quality. We've got some incredible games coming up for the rest of the day. Really interested to see Michael Smith, the former champion of this event, just like Chisnall. He's up against Ryan Joyce next, who was superb yesterday.
Yeah, and Smith, obviously the number 16 seed, as he was in Sindelfingen, managed to come through his opening game, set up a meeting with the number 1 seed, Luke Humphries. He was amazing against Humphries in Sindelfingen. We could see a repeat meeting. However, Smith has got to come through against Joyce. Humphries will have to come through against Cameron Menzies tonight. That's not a given.
I get the feeling that the 180 card event bingo 60 is going to catch on.
I think it already has. I've seen it quite regularly. I don't know what happens when they fill the card, though. Is there... I assume they just go and get more drinks.
Still not better than the card we saw a little bit earlier on that said, time for a croissant, I think. That's next level thinking. Especially at a darts event. This is good. Needs to be. Needed a full house. A madhouse. We'll get a look at that 127 for a break of throw.
Started so well, that. Didn't end particularly well. Level 19. Edhouse gets another crack at the bullseye. And again, it's pretty much the same spot he hit last time.
94.
I think he's having a tiff with that bullseye now. He's seeing the lighter side of it.
It's a great dart to lead tops. Dave Chisnall leads this game. The last 2 legs, Chizzy has won them both, but only after Edhouse has missed the bullseye. Now, you can't expect to hit it both times, but you could see from his reaction, if he just got it once, it's such a different game.
I love this country. So much character here and so much invention. And I'm not talking about the use of the dartboard, which, quite frankly, in this country has been reinvented over the last generation. The Netherlands and Belgium have taught the world how to create better opportunities on a steel-tipped dartboard, and that is no doubt. But the 180 signs this weekend have been superb. Great crowd. And I think they're liking this match because it's neutral. They can just sit back and enjoy this one without any emotional investment.
Yeah, we've got quite a few Dutch players in action today. It's not as many as we could have. We could have had 10, depending on what happened yesterday, but we didn't quite get the full complement of Dutch players coming through. But we've still got some Dutch representation. Michael van Gerwen will not be here tonight. He's put out a statement. You can find that on social media. Our thoughts are with him and the rest of his family. You won't be seeing Mike. He only lives about 10 minutes away from here. So it will be with a heavy heart that he's not participating in this one this weekend.
Yeah, I'm not sure we'll see Michael
100
until early July.
Yeah, well, we know he's not playing the World Cup, is he? So, look, yeah, I hope he does take some time off, and I hope they're all right, the Van Gerwen family. But there is still a tournament to play out here. And Dave Chisnall, he's got his nose in front, but there is so little between these. In every metric, this is a proper contest.
It really is. And the averages haven't really changed much in the last few legs. It's stagnated at around 99. And that's a good thing.
86.
And that's a great dart. This would be one of those checkouts, akin to the one he hit against Adrian Lewis in the last leg decider, that would really hurt. Not this time.
97.
As long as Edhouse doesn't slip up, we're looking at a best-of-3 contest.
The only one he's hit is double 16. But he's found double 3. There is another double he can hit in this game. That is 4 apiece.
He looks almost embarrassed at taking out double 3. Don't be.
Well, he might have been thinking back to yesterday. He realises the problems that double three can cause, because Kim Hybrechts was repeatedly tripping over his own shoelaces on that particular double. It allowed Richie Edhouse into the game, and ultimately it's a big part of why he's still in this tournament.
Richie's one of those players as well who gets strength from who he travels with. I've been asked many times, why do dart players always look left when they do something good, or if they need some sort of tutelage from the audience?
60.
Because that is the spot, lower stage left, where their friends or family are. And Richie has his wife with him and always looks left for additional motivation and encouragement.
Well, there's a little crew, and Edhouse, Martin Lukeman's in there. Connor Scott's quite pally with them all.
Sounds like a really good Dr. Seuss book, doesn't it? The Sniper, Smash and Madhouse.
Well, this is a rare leg, which looks like it's going to be comfortably won, and it's going to push Richie Edhouse to the brink here.
He thought about the bullseye for about half a second.
Well, I mean, look, he's got to tops, which is his double of choice anyway. But if he wanted to get there and Edhouse on 3-3-4, he could have gone treble 9 in the first place. But ultimately, he's on tops. This is for 5-4. He's finished pretty well in this game, and he continues to do so. He's 50% on the doubles, as is Richie Edhouse. It's just another metric in this game where there's very little to pick between them.
Absolutely. Providing Dave gets over the line in this match, he'll be very buoyed by this performance.
77.
But getting over the line is going to prove pretty tricky. Just on that shot from the previous leg, though, sometimes when you're in autopilot, which Dave very much is right now, on a shot like 127, for example, when you hit the 60, you automatically think treble 17. It's just a go-to.
91.
Which is why it would be even more impressive if he had gone treble 9.
Richie Edhouse going to the 17s. He's gone to the 17s quite well in this game with some success. I'm still not entirely convinced it's the wisest manoeuvre, because here he can go on the 19s, and now he can go to the bullseye to get to a finish.
63.
Oh,
And all right, he's hit it, but you are asking a few questions of yourself just to get to a makeable out shot.
Yeah, when you leave a number like 233, you've got to have a trigger. What is the play here? 19s is the play on 233. It's pretty simple what you have to do here to stop Dave from getting a chance for the match. Hasn't done it.
He nearly took the 164 in the second leg of the match, Dave Chisnall. If he takes it here, it's match over.
164.
He's got that wry smile again, thinking that Chizzy's going to hit it. Well, he isn't. Chizzy's reaction there to that single one was... that wasn't very good, was it? But what came afterwards was magnificent. Just like Edhouse on the 19s. How was he on the 9s? Very good. On the brink. And we go to a last leg decider in what is a very friendly game.
11th and final leg, Dave to throw first.
George Noble sees us into an 11th and deciding leg. What are the odds? Just the 2 breaks to throw in this game. Edhouse broke to go 2-1 up, and Chizzy broke back to make it 3-all. But everything else has been a holder throw, which is good news for Dave Chisnall. But that visit isn't. This isn't good news for Chiz either. It's very bad news.
121.
I don't know what it is about Saturdays for Edhouse this year. Every game he's played on Saturday in this Euro Tour season has been 6-5. He just likes the drama.
Well, we've had plenty of it this weekend already. Could we be seeing a 5th game this weekend already where somebody gets match darts and loses? There is a real chance of that happening here.
57.
Richie Edhouse not hammering home the advantage.
78-point lead is pretty good though. But for how long with a first start like that? If he'd walked away with 99 points there, he would have been devastated after that first start, which was pretty much perfect.
55.
It's not enough. He'd got the advantage and it has slipped away from him in a heartbeat, and he knows it.
Curiously, Edhouse has only made one last 16
100.
this season on the European Tour. So of those 6-5s which he's had, which is now 4, he could indeed lose 3 of them. But what a rescue act from Edhouse. But Chisnall's on 164 again.
This is swinging one way then the other. Oh, it's a loose dart.
49.
And a loose dart
97.
could cost him. Match darts, Edhouse. Oh my word, you can't get much closer, can you?
He made that wire move
15.
twice. And this would be typical Chisnall if he was to take this out.
He's going to get a match dart. Tops for Chiz. Oh, Dave Chisnall, they both had a chance to win it.
He just didn't gauge for the slightly longer shot from the left-hand side. Richie has a fresh target. And it's that target that gives him another Sunday on this year's European Tour. He's had to wait quite a long time since Belgium to make the final day again. Madhouse with another 6-5 in this tournament and another 6-5 on Saturdays this season, but this time he does prevail with an average about 5 points fewer than Dave Chisnall. Edhouse takes it 6-5.